Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Springtime Yoga, Christ-Centered Yoga with Kristy. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Lots of pollen out there, so this is a good time to take some deep breaths indoors and hopefully clear out your lungs and your nose a little bit. You might be able to hear that I'm a little snooey myself, so bear with me in this allergy season. I'm going to tell you just in the beginning that we're going to need 3 towels today, or 2 bath towels and a pillow that will help support your neck just in a neutral way. You don't want a big pillow that's going to screw up your neck alignment, but so if you want to go get those, you can pause the recording and go get 2 bath towels and a pillow, or 3 bath towels, and when you come back I will show you what to do with them. Okay, hopefully you're back with your bath towels. I'll show you. So this is I call this my college collection, because these are the towels I've ended up with after my daughter went to college and came home and bequeathed her college collection to me. Here's another one. But so you're going to take 2 of them and do this. I'll show you how this works. We'll take one, fold it in half like so. And then we're going to fold it in half again, like this. So you just have like a long rectangle here. And very simply, we're going to take it from the top and just roll it down. I like to call this the Tootsie Roll. So it's just kind of a comfy rolled up towel like this. We're going to use it later for underneath the outsides of our thighs. You can always do this before yoga. You never know when you're going to need something to tuck on the outsides of your thighs. So anytime you come, you can do this, really, because you never know. So there's one. And you'll do that with 2 of them. So as if we were on a cooking show today, and I have prepared ahead of time, here's another one. So you have 2. And with your 3rd one, you're just going to leave it like this, so that later on I'll show you what to do, how to just fold a little piece of it so that you have a neck roll, okay, for underneath your head. So how convenient is that? Also, I want to do a little commercial first off here, and I'm offering virtual sessions and therapeutic yoga, which means it's a combination of restorative yoga, very restful yoga poses, supported by blankets, blocks, props, pillows, whatever you have around the house, and maybe a strap or sash, blocks if you have them, and pillows and all. But I can tell you how to do that. But it would be virtual. You will be where you are. I'll be where I am on Zoom, one-on-one. Payment would come through PayPal or Venmo. And if you'd like to get in touch with me about that to hear more, you can email me at Kristy, Kristy, at DiGeronimoWellness.com. It's Kristy at DiGeronimoWellness.com, and we can talk about virtual sessions in either therapeutic yoga or laying on of hands energy work. It's called Healing Touch, which is a matter of assessing your energy field, healing, laying on of hands, praying, maybe some scripture guided imagery in the Christian tradition. And if you'd like that, you would be at your home resting on a bed or wherever you'd like to rest. I will be here and tuning into your body and your field and laying on hands from a distance. To some of us that might sound a little crazy, but it really does work, as we're all connected. So you can take that and see what you think and get back with me if that appeals to you. Also, I can do these sessions in person if you're in town, so just let me know if you'd like that. Okay, we're going to move on to our class today. Thank you so much again for coming. And I invite you to rest down on your mat today. As always, if you want to take that flat towel or blanket and put it underneath your head to begin, that's great. But just rest on back in a place of comfort. So as you're resting back, it's time to make the holy transition from the busyness of whatever days are behind you and whatever days to come and just to be present to this place now. So take a moment to look at your surroundings. This is a mindfulness exercise that helps us take in our surroundings afresh with new eyes, a soft gaze, and become aware of truly where we are. So resting down, take a look. And then taking your gaze to center, closing your eyes softly if that's comfortable. If it isn't, just soften your gaze even more deeply and begin to listen to your surroundings. Maybe you'll notice sounds outside, inside. Just notice what you're hearing. This is a gentle way to allow your thoughts to come to rest in the middle of your day. We're usually moving from one activity to another and really not paying a whole lot of attention to what's around us. So this is a soft and gentle way to come home to your surroundings by listening. And then becoming aware of the space around you, the air where God lives and moves. A place where you're held and seen and known and loved. And then if you're comfortable with your eyes closed still, you can begin to do a little sweep of your inner landscape. Notice what's happening inside your body as you rest here. Allowing the back of your body to acknowledge and perhaps begin to rest into the support of your mat underneath and the ground underneath you. And maybe allowing your front body to soften a little bit to begin that journey to self-awareness and see where you are and how you feel. So let's do a little body scan this morning. And you'll notice how you feel inside and where, if there's any place within that feels in need of a little bit more attention, a little bit more love, notice that. Maybe you woke up today with a few aches and pains. Maybe not. And in line with that, just notice what parts of your body feel really alive and awake, ready to go. And if there are places in your body that are a little complaining this morning, a little cranky, where you've been living life to the fullest and you have come up with an ache or pain, I invite you to send your awareness there. And I'm going to ask you to, in your mind's eye, come up with maybe a color that you feel would be healing for your body today in that place. Maybe it's a color, maybe it's a temperature. And as you come up with that color or feeling, in your thoughts and in your body, send that color to bathe and soothe those areas that are talking to you today, asking for help. And then spreading that color throughout your entire body. Can you imagine, say, whatever your color is, that soothing, healing color spreading all throughout every cell, every little space in your body filled with a beautiful healing color today. And as you rest in that color, let's send our awareness to the breath. And begin to notice how your breath feels as it moves in and out, maybe through your nose, through your mouth, whatever feels comfortable. And allow the breath to come in maybe a little more deeply. And as you exhale, just let it out. So just notice the rhythm of your in-breath and your out-breath. And if you'd like to begin to deepen your inhalation so that your belly can expand on your inhale, you can actually feel that. Maybe rest your hands on your belly. Allow the breath to come in, and the belly responds by expanding, opening. And on your exhale, your belly will settle. Maybe your hands will settle a little bit. And allow that to be just a very easy breath in and out. No forcing, straining, just see what it feels like. Notice where you are, how that feels. And if you need to change your breath to whatever your normal breath is, that's fine. But if you'd like, you can increase your awareness of your breath by taking your breath into your belly, allowing that to expand, and then thinking about filling up the lungs so that your rib cage opens side to side, front to back, as those little muscles in between the ribs expand, lengthen, stretch. And as you exhale, allow it all to settle, to center. So what we're working on here is a gentle 3-part breath that fills your body as if your body were a cylinder or a glass, filling it with breath. So you pour the breath in, filling it from the bottom all the way up, from the belly to the ribs. And now we're thinking about getting to the top in the heart space. So the breath will come into belly, ribs, heart. Maybe notice an expansion in the body. And as you exhale, settling down. And going back to that color also, allowing with the in-breath that color to pour in and send a healing color all throughout your body, to the tips of your fingers, the tips of your toes, all through your head, your face, your belly, your back, arms. Good. So let's play with that breath just a little bit more. And resting your hands wherever you feel comfortable. And on your inhale, allow the breath to come in through it and just send it down, maybe imagine it or direct it down towards your arms so that your arms might just sweep out to the side just a little bit on your inhale, as if your inhale is just floating your arms out and away from you. And allow your exhale to settle the arms gently down to your body or the floor again. And we'll just take that for a few more easy breaths. And inhale when you're ready, sweeping arms out or up. And exhale, hands float down, arms float down. Gentle and easy, just feeling and being aware of space, breath, life moving through your body. And one more time, take the breath, let yourself expand. And on your exhale, settling down. And as you're resting here in whatever breath feels right for you now, I'll share with you our scripture for today, which is from Psalm 36. And as I read to you, let's notice how God is described in our psalm for today, Psalm 36. Your love, Lord, reaches to the heavens, your faithfulness to the skies. Your righteousness is like the highest mountains, your justice like the great deep. You, Lord, preserve both people and animals. Nothing gets left out. Nothing is lost. Not a man, not a mouse slips through the cracks. People take refuge in the shadow of your wings. They feast on the abundance of your house. You give them drink from your river of delights. For with you is the fountain of life. In your light, we see light. So I'll read for you the attributes of God in this scripture. I'm just going to invite you to just pay attention and allow those attributes to sink into your spirit, into your body today. Notice how that registers with you as you take these attributes of God into your life this morning. Love, faithfulness, righteousness, justice, preservation, refuge, abundance, delights, light. All those things accessible to us this morning as we lay ourselves out in God's presence. So Lord God, we thank you that you are all these things and so much more, that you are everything that we need. And we all have times in our lives when we are brought to a place where we realize that you really are all we have and all that we need. So as we come to those places where we are forced sometimes to recognize you, we can't depend on all the things that we lean on so easily. In this day, help us to see you first, before all things, and know that you are truly above, below, around, and within, no matter where we are, no matter what we do. Thank you for your healing, your love, your faithfulness, and all the attributes we just read. We offer ourselves to you today and give you thanks. In Christ's name, amen. So let's take a big stretch, if you haven't already. We'll just stretch out end to end on our mats. Notice how your breath feels now as it moves through your body. And yes, twirling out your wrists, twirling out ankles in whatever way feels right for you. Nice long reach. And then as you're ready, take knees into chest, catch them in your hands. And take your hands to your kneecaps, and we'll begin to row the thigh bones apart and then back toward us and away from us. So we're going to, it's just like rowing a boat. We always say we're just rowing that boat around. And we're focusing on the hip socket as we draw in the abdominals just gently to support the back. And then we'll reverse. So the circles can be small, they can be bigger, whatever feels right to you this morning. Breathing easy, shoulders are soft, face is easy. And then we'll draw the knees together. With hands still on your kneecaps, allow your shoulders to rest. And we'll draw the knees toward us and then away. So as you do that, you're just drawing the knees directly front to back so that maybe you'll feel a little massage of the sacrum, a little scoop of your spine just back and forth. Your feet can be gently flexed with your toes spread out a little bit if you like to enliven and awaken your feet. Good, and then we'll plant the soles of the feet on the mat. And lifting up through the right knee, just interlace your fingers around the back of your right knee or thigh. We'll draw that slowly in toward your shoulder. So if you want to lengthen out your left leg on the mat, you can certainly do that, or keep the left knee bent. And then on your inhale, let's take sole of the right foot up, lengthening as you support the back of your leg, pressing up through the sole of your foot. And on your next exhale, just gently draw the knee in a little bit. And we're just going to play with lubricating the knee and lengthening out through the back of your leg. So your inhale will take the foot up. Your exhale will gently draw the knee towards you. Inhale, press up. Exhale, bend your knee. And last time, press your leg up. Keep the foot up if you can. And then flex and point through your foot. Ankle. Breathe. Notice how you feel today. And then circling out through the ankle. And you can take that nice and slow. It's really nice to be aware of where you're really needing this work and reverse that circle. Who needs the breath? What needs the breath? Where is it? And we'll come back to center, and once again, press the sole of your foot up. On your in-breath, draw your knee toward you. On your out-breath, and then release that foot to the mat. And we can take opposite leg up, so left knee comes in. Take a moment to pull it in, and notice where you'd like your right leg to be. It can either be bent with the foot on the mat or lengthened out on the mat. So just pay attention and see what's better for you, and go to that place. And we'll notice that our hips are level also. We want to stay away from hiking that left hip up toward the rib cage. We want to keep the hip pointers straight across from one another. And on your next inhale, press the sole of your left foot up. And on your exhale, gently bend the knee in. And it doesn't have to be a big bend. It can be whatever's comfortable. And inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come in a little bit. So just take this at your own pace. I'm going to stop counting for a couple or cueing. Just draw your awareness inside and feel the length and the bending. And the next time you press your foot up, just hold a little bit. Breathe, soften your shoulders. Maybe press your waistline toward the mat a little bit so that your back is stable. And then as you press up, we'll just flex and point through your foot. Easy breath, soft shoulders. Circle out slowly through your ankle. And breathe. And probably whatever you've done through the weekend and Monday is going to really show itself in your body here today as we come home to whatever we've been doing. And then we'll bend the knee in, draw it towards you. Gently draw the right knee in, take it into your chest. We'll plant the soles of the feet on the floor and gently rock the knees side to side. Check in here. And come back to center, and we'll widen your feet on your mat so they're up to the edges of your mat. Their pinky toe is on the edge of your mat. We're going to take our arms out in a T shape, side to side. And we're going to do a little side to side, right to left with the knees. And also we're going to use our head too. So we'll work with the gaze, we'll work with the knees. So we'll take a breath in center. Relax your shoulders, relax your arms, and then on your exhale, take your knees way over to the right side. You'll notice that maybe the left hip will lift a little bit. You might want to adjust so that your back is comfortable. Maybe tuck your tail a little bit. Just feel where you need to be here. And as your gaze will go over your left shoulder, so I'm going to turn my head to the left, knees to the right. And on your inhale, let's draw the knees up through center. Your gaze comes through center gently. On your exhale, you take your knees to the left. Maybe the right hip will come up a little bit. Gaze comes to the right side. So the point of the head going side to side is to release just some tension in your neck. You just want to become aware. While we're here, we'll take a moment to notice if your arms are comfortable. If you'd like, you can take goalpost arms, or you can take your arms a little closer in. Just notice where you feel the least strain in your shoulders. So on your inhale, let's take the knees to center. On your exhale, make your way to your right side. Let your gaze turn to the left. And we're going to gently move side to side here. So on your next inhale, come through center. Exhale to the left as your gaze turns to the right. And we'll just do this a couple more times. Taking the knees through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. Face comes to center. Exhale. Knees to the left and face to the right. And then coming up through center. Let's just gently draw the knees into parallel so the thighs are in line with your hips. You can reach down, find your hip pointers, and then glide your legs straight up through the thighs to see that they're in line there. And we'll cross the right knee over the left knee. Just see how you feel here. If that's enough feeling in your outer right hip, that's fine. If you would like to pick up your left foot and draw the knees closer, you can hold behind the legs and pull in. Notice where you're feeling that. Breathe. If you'd like to go a little farther, you can interlace fingers behind the left thigh. So just kind of see where your feet want to go. Soften your shoulders, nice and easy. Pull in. And then release your left foot down. Release the right leg and we'll reverse. So you're going to cross the left knee over the right. Come back to center, check in that you're grounded and centered here. And then if you'd like to pick up your right foot and draw the legs in, you can. Holding either by the knees or coming around behind your right thigh. Just noticing where you feel this. So just take it to a place where you're comfortable. If you feel that you're straining and your head is lifting way up so you can reach, you just want to back off so that your back is settled into the mat, and just hold maybe someplace closer, maybe than the knees, just so where you can be at ease here. Good. So let's release the left leg. We'll take both legs up, press up with palms and feet. Take arms over your head, reach up, circle out a little bit, press it out, and then we'll swoop down, take the knees into your chest, and rock over onto your side, facing your screen, if that's good for you. If not, if your shoulder hurts there, you can certainly go the other way. And we'll take a moment to rest here directly on your side body. Take the top hand to your heart and just check in here. How often in our days do we learn to check in with our heart and see where we are? So take a moment. You can close your eyes here to check in gently. Give yourself a little life and breath there. And we're going to press up slowly and come to all fours. So come right on around to hands and knees. Take your time. And as we come to hands and knees, we'll move into a little cat-cow to get the spine going forward and backwards. So I'm on hands and knees here, and we're going to do a little back and forth with the spine. I'll tell you that if your knees aren't comfortable with this, you can put a blanket or a towel underneath them, or you can just come to seated and take your feet to the mat and do it seated as you round and lengthen your spine. So you can do it seated this way, or you can come around to all fours and get yourself stable there. Press the floor away from you. Lift the back of your head up so you're not just dropping the head down. And then maybe just wag your tail a little bit. Get a little side bend. You can turn around and look at your rump there so you stretch out through the side body and go the other way. So, it seems with every pose there's always a journey you can take so that you just don't plop into a pose. You want to get yourself moving into a pose with awareness so you know how your body's responding. So come to center here and we'll take an inhale. Press the floor away from you. Relax your shoulders back, looking up. Take an exhale, rounding the pelvis first, round your spine, chin to chest. Just let the back of your neck fully release. And inhale, lengthen, glide the heart forward. So remember, let's not keep the shoulders hunched up. You're going to press them out and exhale. So just take this a few times back and forth. In, down. Good. So we'll take one more cow. Take a lengthening your spine, look ahead. And then come to neutral and think about a place in your spine that might need a little bit more breath, a little stretch. So you might want to round up again slowly, stretch it out, breathe into it. Maybe shift back and forth a little bit. Good. Then now coming back to table, let's take the right leg out behind us. Keep your hips parallel with the mat and just lift your leg up. And then draw your knee in toward your nose. So we'll come in on your exhale. Draw your leg out. On the inhale, take a little glance ahead. And exhale in. So this is Sunbird. We're going to go back and forth through Sunbird. If you're doing your cat-cow on the floor, you can always just take one leg out. Bring it in, out. You can even take your nose to your knee if you want. Maybe get a little abdominal work that way. And then last time, on your inhale, take your leg out. Stay there with strength. And then draw the knee in, and we'll take the toes together and widen your knees. Press back as far as you feel comfortable into child's pose. Take a little rest. Maybe shifting around side to side a little bit. For those of you who have very cranky knees, if you're just starting yoga, I'm just going to tell you it's good to take a blanket or a pillow or something for when you go to child's pose. You can put it way up so that your knees aren't bent and smashed as drastically. It's a little more gentle. So you're pressing back to child's pose and then coming up to all fours. Let's take the left leg out, and on our inhale we'll reach up, take a look up. On your exhale, gently curl the hips under, round in, knee bends and comes in. On your inhale, lengthen your leg, lift it up. Exhale, come in. And we'll take 3 more times, so take it out, pull it in. And this is 2, really lengthen out end to end first, and then lift your gaze. Exhale, draw in. And this is 3, lengthen out. Lift the heart, lift your gaze, strong legs. See, I'm reaching way out through my foot. And in last time. And then drop your knee to the mat and just make your way gently back to child's pose. You're just going to press back. Take it easy, one side, then the other side. So if it's accessible for you, come up a little bit off the mat and then walk your hands over to your right. Stretch out on the diagonal here. You're pressing your hips off to the left. So if your hands are to the right, you're pressing your hips off to the left, keeping your shoulders away from your ears. Might feel a really good stretch for your side body there from the lower ribs down to the hip. Just notice where you feel it. And then we'll walk our hands around other way. So now I'm reaching to the left side. My hips are pressing toward the right. Breathe. Imperative here is that you keep breathing, please. Don't hold your breath. And then we'll climb around back to center. Come on up to all fours. Tuck your toes under. Maybe take a moment to sit back and stretch out through the soles of your feet. Pressing into the hands. So we don't want to just slump back. We want to always keep the shoulders a little wide, a little broad. And then come on to all fours with your toes tucked under still. We're going to go back to downward facing dog. So press back. Hips lift, press into the heels. Your heels don't have to touch the floor. You can walk back a little bit if you need to. So my weight is in the finger pads and the knuckles, not into my wrists. And you want to broaden the shoulders gently. And come up on your toes, press back. If there's any reason why you shouldn't go to down dog, you can walk your feet towards your hands if you shouldn't have your head down so low. And you can just take some time to come on up slowly with hands to knees and just press here. Like do a little cat-cow here, or you can go back to cat and cow. You can just rest, whatever feels right. So on your inhale, let's drop our knees to the mat and release your toes. On your exhale, child's pose. So we're going to go through a little flow here. We're alternating between down dog and child's pose. So if you press out into your child's pose, shoulders are relaxed, reaching forward. On your inhale, you'll Just float up to table and tuck your toes. On your exhale, you're going to press on back to down dog, stretch it out. On your inhale, drop your knees to the mat. Slowly release your toes, exhale, child's pose. Inhale, floating up, tuck your toes. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, drop your knees to the mat, release your feet. Exhale, child's pose. This time, come on up, tuck your toes, press back to downward facing dog. Let the back of your neck fully release. Come up on your tiptoes if you can. And we're going to press the heels down, then tread out one heel, other heel, so you're bending your knees and kind of bicycling through this. Be sure you don't, if you have really open shoulders, don't let your rib cage just pour down toward the mat. You're going to snuggle the lower ribs in so your core is strong here. And then walk your feet forward towards your hands and your hands back towards your feet. Maybe do a little swivel here. Take your hands to your knees. Come on up. And then begin to massage your legs. Come on up through the calves, your ankles. You might want to stop at the knees. Take a little time to rub out all the connections there, the tendons around those little bumps all around your knees have where your muscles attach, your quadriceps, your hamstrings, leg muscles, all in there. So let's come on up through your thighs and make your way on up to standing. So just work your way on up slowly. Good, welcome. Welcome to standing. So we'll just kind of ease it out a little bit. Come to standing to a place where you feel stable. And maybe work the shoulders around a little bit. Good, just kind of adjust yourself so you feel comfy and tucked in. That's what I'm doing, tucking in. And so then we'll just jostle. So find a stable place for your feet, bend your knees a little bit, and we'll just do the bounce. So you just let your arms and legs hang and bounce. Shake it out a little bit. Good, ease out your shoulders. Good, so we're going to do some chair flow today. Chair flow, I said. My allergies are speaking today, so let's take parallel, come to mountain. And so you come to mountain, so your legs are firm, you find a neutral place for your feet. You want to maybe shift forward and back a little bit and come to an awareness of being right in the center of your foot with your weight, and also side to side. You want to be right in the middle. Good. Drawing energy up through your legs, up through your tummy, through the chest. Broaden. How nice that is. I mean, you can even take your hands and just pull up. Come to the collarbones, widen, reach out, and down. So you have that nice lift. Take it out and down. And then your ear is going to line up with your shoulder if possible. And so here we are, standing in mountain pose. Remember, that word was a part of our scripture today. Your faithfulness reaches to the skies. Something is like the mighty mountains. What was that? Oh, righteousness. It's like the mighty mountain. Yes, so righteous mountain pose today. So we'll lift the crown of your head up. Now that you're standing in alignment, let's take our hands to the crease of our groin here. Bend your knees straight ahead over your center of your feet. So you'll draw your abdominals up and then just shift this back with your weight going back towards your heels. So the weight comes back, your weight will come back towards your heels, you press in. So when you do this, when you hinge forward here, lengthening out through your back, sitting into your heels, you'll notice that all your muscles of your legs kind of snuggle in and gather to keep you supported. This is a good strengthening place. Good. So as you're here, you can take hands to the heart. Lift the heart a little bit. Sit into that chair behind you. as far as you feel comfortable. If it hurts, come back up a little bit. And so we're going to take a little flow here. On your inhale, let's take arms up. On your exhale, you can either float back down into the chair with your hands at the heart. We'll do it again. Inhale up. Or you can sit back with your arms reaching ahead. Now, when you're ready to come up again, on your inhale, press into your feet. Swoop up, arms float up. Exhale, sit. We'll do it again. Inhale, press and lift. Exhale, sit. So arms are either out or at your chest. Anjali Mudra, you're saying a prayer. Inhale up. Exhale, sit. Feel your legs, feel that strength. One more time. Come on up. Come to center. So you're either here, here. Maybe your hands are at your hips if you want to do that. And we're just going to stay here for a couple of breaths just to strengthen. So you want to be really aware of all the muscles around your knees gathering in to support the joint. Tummy's in. Weight is back towards your heels, so you'll feel the backs of your legs, your hips begin to engage, right? So we're getting strong here. Good. On your next inhale, swoop your arms up. We're going to go right into a half sun salutation. On your exhale, you'll dive forward, swan dive ahead, bend your knees if you need to. Run your hands down the backs of your legs. On your inhale, come up halfway, just halfway. Take your gaze ahead. Exhale, forward fold. Let the hips sail up toward the ceiling there. And inhale, bend your knees and either roll up slowly or with flat back, swoop up and above. And palms to the heart. And we're going to do that one more time. So take hands to heart. Kind of ease out your thoughts about it, because you're strong in center, but your thoughts are going to be easy and swoopy about this. You have an inner base of support with an outer softness that leads you through this. You need that inner core strength so you don't fall on your face or fall over. But that strength radiates out into a softness, an awareness of space around you, right? So come on to center. Is that making sense? So come to center, find that inner strength, and notice what it's like to feel a blanket of ease come over you externally. Even though your musculature is engaged, you have this sense of swirliness, sense of sensuality. This is very sensuous, really. So on your inhale, when you're ready, let's swoop the arms up and enjoy that space. On your exhale, the arms float down like wings. Take your hands down the backs of your legs, float forward into forward fold. Inhale, halfway, come on up. This is where your legs are strong, but you're just looking ahead. Exhale down. And then inhale, press into your feet and swoop up or roll up. Palms touch. And come to your heart. And breathe. Good. 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 So we'll take mountain pose again. We're going to do a little crescent flow, you've done this before. If you've practiced with me before, it's just an easy flow, side to side, crescent flow, which will take us into five-pointed star with our toes turned out, which will take us down into sunflower, a little flow here. Very easy. 4 times. Then it'll take us into moonflower 4 times, which will take us into warrior 2, which will take us into triangle, back to center, maybe a little dive forward, and we'll see, okay? So are you ready? Let's start. So come to mountain. And any time during this practice, you can always just stop. You can rest, you can watch, you can pretend you're doing it, you can imagine you're doing it, which is, they say, is often just as good in some ways because your body's going through it mentally. So whatever, whatever feels right. So come to center, and we'll swoop arms up. Take hold of your left wrist, my right, your left. And what I'm doing is pressing up. Adjust this so you can see what's happening. You're pressing up. On your exhale, so that you've got a hold of your left wrist, you're just going to arc over gently to your right side. So you have to use your belly, tuck, maybe not tucking so much your tail, but just engage your core so that you're pressing out long through the side body. And on your inhale, you'll float up, take your head through center, change hands. Exhale, take a little flow to the other side. You can keep your head center if you like, or take a little gaze up. Inhaling up to center, change hands, exhale. So it's just an easy flow, side to side, gradually opening the side body. Good. And we'll come up last time. This will be to your right. Come on up. Take your hands out and step out into your 5-pointed star. So as you're in your 5-pointed star, you're thinking about gathering in that same inner strength, but shining out through a gentle and graceful reach from the heart out, from the heart down, supported by the ground. Good. Your feet are turned out a little bit. On your exhale, you're going to flow down. Bend your knees out toward the pinky toe sides of your feet. Swoop the arms down. Inhale, press up back into your 5-pointed star. And your exhale takes you down. It's just very gentle but strong. Press up. Legs are strong, arms reaching. And this is 3. Swoosh down, press up and lift and grow and reach. And down. And back to 5-pointed star. Your toes are still pointing out. Take your hands to goal post, press your knees out. So this is a seated, strong seat. Legs are pressing out, tummy's in. Just take it to where you're comfortable. Inhale, reach out. And exhale, sit. Oh. Press into your legs. Inhale, grow and shine. Exhale, ha. Inhale, open. Exhale, sit. Oh. Open wide. Last time. Exhale, sit. We'll take arms out. And turn your left toes in, the right toes out. See how your arms are very relaxed. The shoulders are soft. Arms grow out from the shoulders, very easy and level. And then just play with kind of leaning into that front knee first. See how that feels. You can even take hands now to your hips. And just make sure you're gathered into center. The hips are underneath the shoulders. You don't want to do side bends here. You just want to press out through that knee. Legs are spiraled out. You can take your gaze over your front fingertips into your warrior 2. So we're just going to breathe here. Feel the strength of your legs. Notice that the muscles hug the bones. Your heart lifts. Breathe. And then very easy, straighten your front leg. Going to reach out through that same arm. Reach, 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 way out. So take the back hand to your hip. Make sure you're not bending forward to do this. You're going to just go straight to the side. Opposite hip where your hand is presses out. So you'll stay along through your side body. When you need to, take your hand down either to this thigh, or you can run your hand down to the shin. Open the top shoulder. You're really kind of pressing forward and lengthening out from your belly button. See how my hip just went bink? It goes out to the side. So you're long in your side body and reaching up. So your gaze can be centered here. If you'd like to look up, it's okay. And we're noticing that more and more people's necks get wrenchy if you do that. So breathing here, that's the point. Breathe, be strong, be easy. So now imagine somebody's taking your fingers on top and pulling you right up, just saying, come on, come on, come on. You're going to come right up off the floor almost. Hands come down. Good. Turn your toes forward. Take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers. Draw one shoulder up and back, the other shoulder up and back. And your hands can be interlaced behind you, or you can hold elbow to elbow. Take a breath and gaze up. Exhale, you can bend your knees if you need to. Come forward into a long, luxurious forward fold. So your hands can stay behind you if you would like, as you lengthen out through your spine, or you can take one hand down, other hand down, maybe hands to your knees, whatever you need for support. Or you can certainly keep your hands behind you and open up the shoulders. Shoulder blades draw together, shoulders are down away from your ears. And breathe, let your head hang. And then if your hands are behind you, take them to your knees. If they're on your knees, just come on up a little bit, everyone. And we'll take the right shoulder across and the left shoulder across. Come back to center, turn your hips under, round up. Good. Take a breath in and blow it out. Let's do that again. One more time. Good. There you are. So let's take the opposite foot in, opposite foot out. And get your hips straight. Kind of play around with your stance here. Make sure you're comfortable and stable. And just for fun, as we lift in the belly, let's take the arms up, swoop them out over your head, and as you bend your knee, your arms will float out. Let's come back to center and do that again. Straighten your leg, take the arms up, and it's a big arc over your head and a floating down to that place in space where they rest. So find your warrior two. Find the energy that comes from the center. It's just spiraling around here and then glides out through your arms end to end and beyond your fingertips. Gaze is over the front hand if you can. Breathe, focus, strong. And then on your inhale, let's straighten the front leg, reach way out to the side. Top hand can come to your hip, so you remember to draw your top shoulder back as you reach way out. So the hand either can come to your thigh, can come to your shin, can go to the floor. But you just want to make sure you're not leaning forward to get to the floor. You want to be able to stay. It's like we say, you're in a toaster, and all your body is in alignment straight to the side. And we'll come up. Sending the back hip way out, long spine. See how the belly button lines up with the collarbone out the crown of your head. Breathe, soften your shoulders. Strong legs, open heart. And on your inhale, someone pulls your hand up. You go, oh, draw the belly in, pull you up, yes. Arms come out. Let's take your toes forward. We'll just do a little inhale here. Let your arms float back. And exhale, dive forward. Take your hands down to the mat. And maybe shift side to side here. A little side bend, side to side. Right knee bends, left knee bends. Just play with it there. And from there, we're going to come back to center. So let's bend your knees a lot. Place your hands on the mat if you need to, and just kind of walk your feet toward one another. And then taking your hands up your legs just to be in touch with yourself. Come on up. Just standing. Ease everything out. And we're just going to do a little balancing pose here before we sit back down. Tree pose. So lots of trees are blooming now. That's what we're going to do. So I hope you don't have a lot. No, this is silly. I know you don't have pollen, right? Duh. Okay. So come to center and strengthen like the trunk of a tree. Just stand up nice and tall. So what's going to happen is your roots are going to grow down from the solar plexus, down through your body, down through the standing leg. So find your standing leg, your left leg. Lift up your right toes. So you want to be very strong in the standing leg, but you're grounded through your roots. You've got this wonderful oppositional reach through the upward motion of the belly and the ribs and heart. The downward pressure of the foot just makes it possible for you to just kind of hang here and balance. So your toes can be by your ankle. Take your hands here and your heart in prayer mudra if you'd like, or you can take your arms out, hands to your hips, whatever feels good. And so if you'd like, turn the knee out and you can take your foot to your calf. You keep your toes on the floor. You can reach down, press your ankle into your upper thigh if you'd like, which I'm not going to do. And here we are. So playing with the lift versus the groundedness. Lift through the crown of your head and just breathing here, focus. And then take the knee around to the front, press your foot out and take it down. And we'll jangle out a little bit. Get the energy working here. Let's do a little twirl. Let the arms just fly. Every time I turn around, I see Jesus looking at me. Hello? Hello? Okay, let's make our way back around and come to the other leg. So take a moment for all that to settle. And we'll come back to center and find your other tall standing leg. Tummy's in. You're really sending up strength here. Find a focal point for your gaze that's stationary. And again, toes are either on the floor, picking them up, putting them down. You can turn the knee out if you'd like. Lifting in the heart. So you want to think about pressing your thighs toward one another and lifting in the belly. And breathe. And then we'll take the knee around to the front, press your foot out and down. And let's just jangle it out a little bit, maybe twist it around, whatever feels good for you. And we'll come to center, take a big swoop, and take a big dive. Bend your knees a whole lot. Come on down to your seat. So we'll come to sitting. We're going to take a moment to really come home to the breath. So if you have a towel or a blanket that you'd like to perch on, please do that. Take it around behind you and put your sit bones up there. So if it's comfortable for you to sit cross-legged, please do that. Or you can take your soles of your feet together and hold here. And take your legs out. Whatever feels best for you, please do that. And we're going to take a moment to close our eyes if that's comfortable and gather our awareness back in those inner landscapes again. Noticing that your hips are very stable and settled into the support of the ground underneath. Allow your spine to grow up tall out of the bowl of your pelvis. As your tummy draws in to support your back, shoulders are soft. Allow the crown of your head to grow straight up tall to the sky. Allow your legs to rest here. So this is why it's nice to have a couple of pillows or those blankets the towels that we folded, you can tuck them under the outsides of your thighs if you'd like for a little support. I'm going to actually use mine today. I have a little hip thing going on, so I'm going to tuck it right under so I can be really comfortable. Sitting up tall, let your hands rest on your knees, and we'll go back to the breath. So as you take your easy breath in, we're just going to let the belly expand on your inhale as your spine grows taller. And as you exhale, your shoulders soften. Face softens. Good. Notice that you're right on the sit bones. So So you're not hinging forward, you're not rocking back, you're just kind of straight up, honoring that curve of your back. And on your exhale, just dropping chin to chest. Holding for a couple of breaths so you can really feel the length of your spine behind you. And on your inhale, gazing up, little heart lift. On your exhale, come back to center. And we'll just drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Reaching out long through your left arm. Tuck your chin now down towards your chest. And take your nose across to your shoulder. So if your right ear is to your right shoulder, your nose is going to turn down toward the right shoulder. And breathe. And then we'll roll the chin down towards your chest. Take your hand back to your knee. And then lifting your head to gaze forward, we'll take other side. So left ear drops to left shoulder. Maybe rock your chin back a little bit. See how that feels. Drop it down towards your chest. Just explore places where your neck might need some breath or space, and reaching down now with the right fingertips. Take your breath, and the nose now turns down toward the left shoulder. You can even take your right arm behind you a little bit. Oh. Breathe. And just play with this. Notice where you need a little help here. Keeping your spine tall. Let's roll our chin now down toward our chest. Hand comes back to your knee, and we'll roll up through center. And we'll take a gaze over the right shoulder, a gaze over the left shoulder, and come back to center just for a few more breaths here, just closing your eyes. And I'll share with you now from Psalm 37. As you're breathing, feeling the breath moving in and out through your nose, that rhythm of the breath that enlivens on your inhale and lengthens the spine. And on your exhale, the out breath brings a sense of ease that pours over the top of your head, down through your spine, into your pelvis, through your legs. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Take delight in the Lord, and the Lord will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will do this. He will make your righteousness, He will make your righteous reward shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. So maintaining that attitude of stillness and quiet, let's take our legs out in front. I'm going to turn sideways on the mat if you're not already there. You can take one of your towels and take them back. Take this one that's like a rectangle back behind you. The two that are rolled up, you're going to put on either side and roll down. So when you get to the mat, you take your towel and make a little roll in it so it can support your neck in a way that's very comfortable, a little neck roll there. Your towels that are next to you, let's just bring them up right next to your hips, but not under your hips. And then we'll let the knees drop side to side and take the soles of the feet together. So the purpose of the towels underneath your hips are to give them support. So you're not straining to keep the hips, the knees open. If that's still too much for you, you can take these towels and even give them a little extra fold. Make them really, really higher like that, even though it's a little messy. Take one side, you can tuck the other one together. It's like a really tight little ball here. And you put it under the other leg, so it's a little bit higher. Or you can take them out and just lengthen your legs if you'd like. So if the soles of your feet are together, we're allowing the outer thighs to rest completely into the support of your towels. Just going to let the arms rest by your side with your palms turned up and maybe a little ways away from your body so that the shoulders can broaden gently and the heart can be open. And we'll take a few breaths like this just to really let the weight of your legs drop toward the floor. Soles of the feet are touching, and that kind of completes a circuit of energy through your body. The back of your neck is easy and your face is soft. So let's take some very natural, easy breaths here. Allowing yourself to settle in gently. The belly is nice and easy, very spacious and open, with the breath moving in and out freely. Might want to take a slow, full, deep breath, and you can feel your whole body expand on your inhale. And as you exhale, allowing your body to settle more deeply into the support of the mat underneath. Just a couple more breaths here. If you'd like to stay here, you can just stay right here. If you'd like another little stretch for the outside of your hip, you can just very slowly draw your knees together with your knees bent. And we'll take the right ankle across the left knee. Gently press your right thigh away from you. And if you want to stay here, stay here. If you'd like, pick up the left knee and draw it towards you. That will help stretch out the outer hip that we've kind of been using in our warrior pose and our triangle and our sunflower and moonflower. You can rock side to side a little bit here. And come back to center. Maybe draw the left knee in a little bit closer before you finish. Take a breath. And then we'll change sides. So drop the left foot, release the right ankle, take the other side. So the left ankle comes to the right knee. Press the right thigh away from you a little. And then stay here if you'd like, or lifting up the right foot, drawing the knee towards you. And we'll explore this, maybe rocking side to side just a little, see how that registers, see what parts of your body need a little more breath, and then just hold somewhere comfortable for a few easy, deep breaths here. Shoulders are soft, shoulder blades just pour down into the mat underneath. And then we'll release the right foot to the mat. Release the left foot so that both knees are bent. You can rock your knees side to side gently, just a little. And make your way into full Shavasana as you lengthen your legs. Take the roll towels away. And then do what you need to do to make yourself comfortable here. Either take a stretch first. Maybe just squirm around till you get aligned and comfortable, and then allow your hands to rest by your side, palms turned up if you can. Maybe tuck your shoulder blades underneath you, just a hair, just a little to let the shoulders open. And then allowing your entire body to rest into the floor. No tension, just let everything go. Find your easy breath. Just watch your natural breath now, just moving in and out, coming to a place of quiet. So now coming back to an awareness of your breath, taking one long, slow, full, and deep breath in. Maybe moving fingers, toes, wrists, or ankles. If you'd like to take a big stretch with arms overhead, please do that. And as you settle in from your stretch, taking your awareness now back to what you're hearing in your surroundings. Just an easy transition back into your day. And hopefully bringing a little smile to your lips, smile to your face. Just greet the rest of the day with a smile. Taking a moment to open your heart to God's presence for the rest of your day. And sending out a sense of desire for the well-being of everyone else on the earth. A little prayer for those who suffer, a prayer for those who are alone, a prayer for those who need a hug today. But allow the desire of your heart now, if it speaks to you, to be for the happiness and well-being of all people, all creatures. And then drawing knees to chest if you like, and make your way over to one side. If you need a little rock and roll, take that first. And as you make your way to sitting, let's come to hands at heart in Anjali Mudra. Taking a moment of quiet here. As I share with you, just once again, a repeat of some of our scripture from this morning. How priceless is your unfailing love, O God. People take refuge in the shadow of your wings. They feast on the abundance of your house. You give them drink from your river of delights. For with you is the fountain of life. In your light, we see light. Giving thanks, Creator, Lover, Friend, Savior, for all that you are. So when we have those times when we feel a little low, maybe lift our eyes to you and be lifted up into your ways, into your presence, into your goodness that you want for all of us. Thank you that you love us individually, that you created us each one unique and precious. We offer you our hearts today, that we might love you back as you love us with all of our heart, with all of our soul, with all of our mind, and with all of our strength, as with your help we love our neighbor as ourselves. We thank you. In Christ's name, amen. So thank you all for practicing with me today. I hope you have a great week. I'll see you next time. Shalom. So thank you. See you soon, I hope. I'm going to turn off the recording now and see you next time. If you're out there in TV land, I'll join up with you in just a moment.